Okay, traders, time for some TA on BNB, NEO, and ICX. All of these three are the hedges against Ethereum. And guys, as you can see, the market is finally breaking down. I have been wanting to short BTC ever since ever since the 60k zones. Now finally BTC is doing that after going all the way to 62k. Now it is coming back to the 55k zones, looking really weak in those regions, wanting to test the 400 the 4 or 200 moving average. So guys, I think this is some interesting time to talk about BNB, NEO, and ICX. But before we jump onto the TA, guys, you know the drill. Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and share this video. So, guys, the first candidate right now is going to be BNB for you guys, as this one is simply still in an uptrend, even on the 4-hour time frame. As we are hovering quite far off the 200 simple moving average. We are still like I think 13 to 14% away from the moving average, the main trend bearer for this entire price action right here. Now, guys, we did attempt to break the range to the upside. We did attempt to close this candle above this price point right here, but we failed, guys. This means that we are formulating a low, a high which is lower than the previous high, guys. Now if we keep on rejecting these price actions to the downside, we could be looking at some price action resolution to the downside on this entire squeeze. Now guys, tables are turning towards the downside as all right, now this is quite a far-fetched far-fetched price action target to the downside, to be honest with you. Everything has to happen step by step, but guys, it looks to me like if you keep on losing the momentum from these price points, if Bitcoin is also losing the momentum from 55k, want to get back towards 50k or maybe even lower, then you can talk about BNB losing grounds on various levels, to be honest with you. The first level right now is something that we just had a retest of, the price point being the $250 regions. Now guys, I do expect this one to be picked off from these price points right here, and I do expect BNB will at least try to curl to the upside from these price points, as BTC is also rebounding as of now from the 55k zones. Although I do expect that any further up move on Bitcoin price action would likely be a sell. So that means most of the USD pairs on all the altcoins are going to be looking bearish in the immediate short time frames, guys. This is a trader focused channel. If you are 100% bull tard, guys, I think sometimes the content for you is going to be irrelevant. So as the tables are kind of turning towards the downside now, if you do take these levels out to the upside right here, guys, the one that we got rejected from pretty recently at the $280 levels, then you can be talking about some price action, further momentum to the upside, and you will be testing these targets again at $300 regions. Now guys, if you do get rejected for the third time at $300 regions, then you can talk about some far-fetched downside price action, the first level being at the $200 price point. Now if you do start losing the $200 price point, there is not much support. There's not much support all the way until the $150, $140 points price points on BNB. Now guys, everything depends on how the BTC momentum is shifting towards in the market. Now if it keeps on bleeding to the downside, the USD pairs will simply follow the BTC price action. Now guys, I do not think there is any FOMO, any hurry in the market. I've been screaming about these things ever since we started rebounding all the way towards the 60k zones. There is no FOMO. There's no need to FOMO on any kind of altcoin right now, as most of the altcoins are in consolidation to sideways zones, guys. Now if this squeeze resolves to the upside, you will be having some good looking nasty price action targets to the upside, all the way around the $420 BNB target. Now guys, I've been talking about the $400 BNB target for a very long time. We did attempt to go to those price points right here, but we failed, right? We did never close any 4-hour candle above this price point right here at $300. We just simply rejected those price points. That's why the immediate sell off. Now this could have been a really nice looking trade right after the rejection of the 300 levels, 300 zones to the upside. Now you could have shorted this one for a 15% gain to the downside, testing these liquid price points right here. You're testing it again. Now that does mean that there is some kind of swing failure under progression, guys. Ethereum having a swing failure pattern, as I tweeted out in the afternoon, and well, swing failures, these are pretty much your swing failures right here, guys. You do attempt to break to the upside, but you just reject anything, and then you start rolling to the downside. Now I do expect in the immediate short time frame, as Bitcoin rebounds, all the altcoins will also rebound, but we have to monitor activities all across the crypto markets today, as it's going to be very, very interesting, guys. It looks like the PTSD from the 13th of March is finally kicking in for most of the people in the equity spaces as well. So guys, most of the crypto market is going to be related to how the equity markets are performing. Now guys, here's the cheat code. if you are living in the USA, now watch for how the S&P opens for the day. If it opens bearish, that's going to reflect on the price action on BTC as well, guys. Just this is what happens. Now if you are residing in Japan, for example, now you watch the price action as to the Japanese stock market index, and if that opens to be bearish, BTC will have that kind of follow through. Similarly, it goes for Nifty as well in India. Now guys, if you go towards the UK stock index as well, this is it's a simple, the correlation coefficient is basically on point these days with all of the cryptocurrencies market and equity market. So guys, that's a cheat code right there. Do not be don't be worried about why things are tanking, why everything is going down. It's just correlated. Most of the markets are correlated these days. So BNB against BTC, let's see what this one is doing right here. All right, you are currently near the 4-hour 200 simple moving average. You could argue that this is a good looking opportunity right here, and we are currently bouncing off of it. Doesn't mean that it's going to simply moon from these price points right here, but it does mean that there is certainly liquidity entering the BNB markets on BTC pair from these price points right here, as I do expect the more BTC starts to tumble down from these price points, the more strengthful the BTC pairs are going to be looking like henceforth, guys, because people have started realizing the the upside of BTC is not that much, to be honest with you. Most of the price action, the 10x price action has already happened on BTC. So watch how the risk to reward ratio shifts from BTC USD pairs, from the USD pairs in general to the BTC pairs in the market, guys. Now you could argue that this would be a good this was a good looking opportunity right here in front of you, as we are having a good follow through for the time being. If you start closing any candle above this price point right here, and if you start showing some follow through momentum, like open closures above the 21 simple on 4-hour time frame, then you can talk about some further continuation and yet another retest of this of this price point. Now guys, don't get me wrong, looks to me like a lot of liquidity is exiting the BNB BTC markets from these price points. Now if you do come back here again, expect rejection for yet another time, I guess. I mean, this is what has been happening for like ever since the 20th of February, guys. 1 month of constant sell-offs from these price points means that there is a lot of selling activity happening in these areas. Now you come back here again, you do expect some sell-off. Now if you do take this one out, if you start closing any 4-hour candle above these price points, basically above the 500,000 satoshis, the 5,500,000 satoshis, then you can talk about some upside continuation and the breakout of this range, which could lead to some good upside targets on BNB BTC. Now guys, I've been talking about how the risk to reward will shift from the USD pair to BTC pairs. I'll be having like the further videos coming on this channel will be about some exchanges where you can actually start trading the BTC pairs, guys. This is how you constantly define your edge. This is how you constantly mold your action in the market according to the dynamics, guys. Alright, anyway, so not much to talk about on BNB right here, guys. Let's just simply jump on to the next candidate for the day, which is ICX. The ICX, the beautiful looking bastard in front of you guys right here, as we are trending above this price point. Ever since we broke above this dynamic trending resistance, I was making videos on ICX ever since we were hovering somewhere around $1 price point. Now I did expect, well, everybody expected ICX to test the $2.5 levels, and we are currently backing off of the price point right here, which means that we are getting into a consolidation on ICX. Doesn't mean that it's a death sentence. Does not mean that ICX has topped out for the long time frames as well. This simply means that there were some Fibonacci zones of profit taking. Well, guys, to be honest with you, this is completely irrelevant. So we're going to be taking this high right here, as we can simply negate this price point right here, because well, the Fibonacci numbers do not allow you to actually extend your further move to the upside. So guys, this one is pretty much aligning with the 2.618, the all-time high. So this looks quite relevant. You can start taking your Fibonacci levels, like the 0.0 levels, from starting from 4.5 and coming in all the way at 0.1 as the bottom, as this was marked as the bottom, the generational buying opportunity on ICX, guys. Did you miss out on this one? Did you? Well, it's gone up at 10x already. Certainly a lot more upside to happen on ICX, guys. This does not mean that the party is over, but as far as you're staying below these price points on a 3-day closure, which is going to be around 1.8 USD, it is simply going to be under consolidation mode. You do not need to panic. You do not need to sell your ICX bags. You just simply wait for this consolidation to take place, and well, this is a pretty much clear support resistance game in front of you guys. So if it comes down back here again at 1.2, I do expect this one to be a major opportunity for the buyers to come in the market. Well, you can extend these opportunities all the way around the dollar price point as well. So do watch the ICX price come down at dollar level. If you lose out on this diamond trending support right here, it'll be picked up, guys. It'll be picked up. So I hope you are hodling ICX rather than trading ICX, as this one is a hodl, guys. You do not need to trade everything, guys. Look, there are going to be 100,000 things in the market. Doesn't mean that everything is yours. All right, the sooner you understand that, the better you will be off. Alright guys, if you do come back here at the dollar price point, I do expect this one to get picked up. Now let's just simply try to jump into the small time frames and see what this is doing, as we are rejecting the 200 simple on the 4-hour time frame, signaling further consolidation. And if I do invert this price action right here, this is pretty much looking like a Adam and Eve kind of reversal in the short time frame. Now guys, the 4-hour time frames are completely irrelevant if you're comparing the price action from the 3-day time frame, right? So it means that even if you do break down, there are going to be certain macro level buyers sitting in at a $1 level. So guys, do pick some up. I think okay, none of this is a financial advice. I just have to repeat myself again and again on every single video so that I don't get into any kind of trouble, I guess. So guys, $1 level, if it comes down there, just pick it up. All right, even for the long run, even for the investment part of the ICX, just pick it up from those price points. So ICX looking good. ICX against BTC. Let's just find out what just happened. Yeah, ICX against BTC. All right, ICX BTC on the daily. Well, to be honest with you, I do not have much comments now, guys. Same shit again, same nasty looking falling wedge for you guys here. And I've been talking about the prices for I've been talking about the ICX BTC markets to be very choppy, very like undecided direction, as far as you're residing below this direct trending support resistance, guys. The moment you take down this direct trending resistance right here, we did attempt twice. You did make a double top. It looks to me like it wants to reject, come back down here, guys. To be honest with you, I mean, this price action is not looking really nice. That does not mean that ICX has a death sentence. That does not mean that ICX is going to zero on the BTC pair. It does mean, however, that we could be testing the range lows right here again. That means that Bitcoin dominance could rise and could hurt the ICX BTC pair. So guys, if this one comes down, that would align with certain price points on the USD pairs, guys. Everything is going to be accumulation. Everything is going to be a good looking opportunity, to be honest with you. Don't look at these markets as a bear. Now okay, you can argue that this price point is looking bearish as fuck, like this is a shit looking chart, but you can anytime come across with these pumps and you can just leave these ranges and fuck off to the upside and never return back again, guys. To be honest with you, if you do break this one out, your first target is going to be this, but I think it's not going to stop, guys. It will simply curl to the upside. ICX having a real use case will probably trend with Ethereum in the long haul. So guys, watch for Ethereum BTC price action as well as ICX BTC's price action. Really depends on ETH BTC, to be honest with you, right? So 3-day time frame macro still residing above the 200 simple on the 3-day time frame, which means that it's okay, as this moving average is kind of wanting to turn its gears to the upside. It's wanting to slope to the upside. So as far as you're holding these price points, is completely fine on ICX against BTC as well. Your key levels for ICX BTC right here is going to be this one, something which we are testing right now. Now if you lose this one out, you're going to be looking at this, and ultimately if you lose this one out as well, you'll be looking at some range lows aligning with this direct trending support coming in at 1,000 satoshis. Well, 10,000 satoshis. 1,000 satoshis is just like a wreckage, to be honest with you. So 10,000 satoshis is what you'll be looking at if you lose out on these price points. Now the upside target, certainly if you take down this double top right here, you'll be going on all the way towards these price points. All right, so ICX BTC okayish to bearish. ICX USD certainly bullish on the macro, guys. NEO USD for you guys. Now NEO right now is certainly the bearish among all of these three, and for the time being, you were simply trying to, like, you were stair stepping your way up. this is like a speed breaker. This is like a speed breaker right here. This price action not looking very nice on NEO against USDT is certainly going to be aligning with what Bitcoin does in the market in the coming days. Now if you start making these candles, if you start rejecting these price points like this, you will be creating some highs which are significantly lower than the previous highs, and you can just constantly trend to the downside. Come back here at this price point, at this trending resistance, this trending resistance turn support. Like, we never had a retest, guys. We never really had a retest of this SR flip, the support resistance flip right here. So you can talk about if you're unable to take down the $42 levels on a 3-day closing basis, you can simply start bleeding and you can come into consolidation phase and get retested from on these price points, and then you can talk about some trending moves to the upside after the retest, guys. So there is no hurry on NEO, as I do expect the macro trend to be bullish until you're holding the $30 price points. Now watch for this correction to align with this bottom right here. All right, I mean the $30 price point is going to be certainly really interesting. So guys, if NEO comes to $30 price point, I think it's going to pick up. It will be picked up. I mean, macro is certainly bullish. Bitcoin is at 60k. Do not forget. All right, do not forget. So these things are all well, everything is going to be testing its all-time highs. We are looking at opportunities. We are looking at the optimal entry points. Now optimal entry point on NEO, to be honest with you, is going to be 31, guys. So be patient. All right, be really patient, as this one will come here. Now don't chicken out, don't freak out if it really comes to 30. Don't be like, it's gonna dip, it's gonna go lower, guys. Just dollar cost average out on NEO, as this has a huge upside potential. All right, it has a huge upside potential. If you pick some at 30, imagine selling it at 200. Now that's gonna be a good looking trade. I mean, why the fuck not? I mean, you go for a 500% trade to the upside. Would be crazy, right? Would be really crazy. So don't chicken out when it actually comes on these price points, guys. Let's jump on the 12-hour time frame, and as this one is certainly going to be looking more bearish to a consolidation, to a sideways phase on NEO, as this candle right here is a nasty rejection looking candle. A lot of fireworks happening, for what reason I don't know. Anyways, so it looks to me like you could be squeezing like this. All right, you could be squeezing like this, and currently you're breaking the squeeze to the downside. Your squeeze breakdown targets could be aligning with the 200 simple on 12-hour time frame, right? Yep, you can do expect this one to be picked up. You can do expect this one to start trending to, guys. This one is aligning with the $30 price point as well. So I think a lot of activity will happen on the $30 price points, which is approximately 25% move to the downside from these price points, 20% to be honest with you. So do expect this one to be picked up from those levels. Now it would be really interesting to pick some NEO cheap and fresh at $30, right? NEO against BTC. Let's see how this one is doing. Certainly way more bearish looking, certainly way more bearish than the USD pair, guys, as Bitcoin is holding these shitcoins, to be honest with you. I mean, Bitcoin is the key indicator. Bitcoin is doing things, holding on to these price points. Now guys, NEO right here, I do expect this one, if you do break down below this price point right here, I do expect NEO to come back all the way and test these price points at this one right here. And if you do break this one out, if you do break this one to the downside, you will be testing the range lows all the way at these price points. Until then, I think we are maintaining this trend as well. So you can expect some NEO BTC, guys. As BTC USD is getting weaker, watch how the risk to reward opportunities start shifting towards the alt BTC price action. On the first glance, I mean, this one looks to me like an opportunity on NEO BTC, to be honest with you. This is getting picked up. I mean, this is a good diagonal trending support line right here. So you can expect some price action to get picked up on these price points, and you can start testing these price point to the upside, at least the 200 simple on the 3-day time frame. Guys, I do expect this one to stay bearish in the macro as far as the slope of this moving averages towards the downside. And I do have an alert, I do have a macro price action alert on NEO BTC right here as well. So you do want to take this one out for any further continuation move to the upside, and accelerated move on the USD pair as well. So guys, the momentum oscillators, are they aligning with the support on the price action? Looks to me like yes, it is. Is it? No, quite not. It has broken below the grind. Is there any other support right here? Nope. looks to me like the RSI has broken down. I mean it did break down. There was some multiple support confluence. It is breaking down. So well, could you could you could certainly have a bullish and a bearish case right here. If you do take the support support out right here, you'll be testing these price points. You could be then formulating divergence between this point and this point right here, or maybe you could bleed further down and create divergence between this point and this point, and then you can attempt some moves to the upside, guys. So be patient on Neo against BTC as well. All right, guys, I think this has been pretty much it. I thought I'll be making this video really short and precise, but I think this was full of technical information for you guys. So if you like the content, go ahead and hit like, go for that subscribe, share this video with all of those friends of yours who are looking to hedge their Ethereum exposure in the market, as NEO, ICX and BNB are going to be your key players. Key players, key potential players, as their all-time highs. BNB, except for BNB, ICX and NEO have a huge potential to the upside, guys, even testing the all-time highs. All right, hit that like, go ahead for the subscribe. I'm going to catch you guys on the next video pretty soon. Bye for now.